Not sure what happened there, but I don't know how much was stored or saved. But anyhow, gotta check. Gotta check everything. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, that's odd. That's odd. What? Why? If that's 1, then that's scaled up by root 2. So yes, I'm not clear about that. Oh my goodness me. Of course it's 3. And here there'll be probably a similar mistake. Right. This is a brain error. This is thinking that they disappear. Make sure I didn't make a similar mistake here. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Other than that, all good. All good. Now, triangles. Okay, so only 16. Find the missing side lengths. Leave your answers as radicals in simplest form. Okay, so this here is the 45, 45, 90 triangle. And so to find the legs, scale down by root 2. So it'd be 10 over root 2. And then this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle as well. So we have to do 10 over root 2 over root 2, which is 10 over root 2 squared, squaring the root 2 on the denominator. So that'd be 10 over 2, so 5. Now in this case, the length of the leg of the larger right triangle would be 7 root 2, but then we have to times by root 2 again, so x would be 14. And here, once again, and here, and here, 5 root 2, divide that by regular 5, and divide that by root 2 to get 5 over root 2. Top and bottom, times them by root 2 to get 5 root 2 over 2. And here, 9 root 6, divide that by root 2 to get the legs here. So 9 root 3, 9 root 3. So 9 root 3, and then divide that by root 2. So 9 root 3 over 2. Beg your pardon. That's not right. Just a second. All right. Okay, so where was I? Right, so 9√6 over root 2. 9√6 over root 2 is 9√6 over 2, which is 9√3. And 9√3 over root 2 times the top and bottom by root 2. So 9√6 over 2. And really, you just have to divide that by 2. So just making sure that I've actually gone through these procedures right. All right. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Okay, something new. Here we go. This is the 30, 60, 90 right triangle whose sides from smallest to largest are 1√3 and 2. But in this case, the hypotenuse is 9. In this case, the hypotenuse is 9. And so it's scaled up by a factor of 4.5. So it'll be √3 divided by 9/2. So times 9/2. No, times 2/9. Goodness me. Now, that's the longer leg of the larger right triangle, which is the hypotenuse of the smaller right triangle, which is similar. Now, using that, the smaller leg is quite literally just half. So x would be √3 over 9. And here, the given hypotenuse is 5. To get the smaller leg, simply half it. And that's the larger leg of this one. So to get the hypotenuse, first divide it by √3 and then times it by 2. Which is 5 over √3, which is 5√3 over 3, I believe. Although I think that could have been found a different way, couldn't it? Oh, it definitely could have, because look, the larger right triangle is similar to the entire thing. So yeah, that's kind of redundant, that was. Anyhow, here we go. All right, so that smaller leg there is 10, so the larger leg must be √3 times larger, so 10 √3 for the larger leg. And if the larger leg of the smaller right triangle is the smaller leg of the larger right triangle, which is 1, which stands for 1, and I have to multiply that by √3 to get x. So x, I'm sorry, are you kidding me? What? That's not true at all. Oh, 10 √3 times, oh, okay. X is 30. How simple, now that I think about it. Okay, so the hypotenuse of the smaller right triangle is 8, which means this is the 30, 60, 90 triangle, 30, 60, 90 right triangle scaled up by 4. So this has to be divided, so everything has to be divided by 4. The larger leg here of the smaller right triangle, which is usually √3, has to be divided by 4. So we get root 3 over 4. And that stands for the smaller leg of the larger right triangle. The smaller leg of the smaller leg of the right triangle usually stands for 1, but the hypotenuse is simply double that, so 2 root 3 over 2. X is root 3 over 2. It would seem. But even just writing that out just sounds absolutely ridiculous because it just doesn't look that to be that length at all. So this must have been done in error. So now, so usually it's 1 root 3, 2. So it's actually 4 root 3. And anyway, 4 root 3 then doubled is 8 root 3. Which seems a little bit better. We're going to check these first 10. There's only 16 to contend with. So really, let's just go to the end. All right. So 5 here, which is usually root 3. So this here has to be 5 over root 3. That's the hypotenuse of the smaller right triangle. And let's see. Then I would have to divide that by 2 and times that by root 3. That would be the calculation involved. And thus, x would be 5 over 2, I believe, but I don't know yet. All right, so it's not entirely clear what 9 root 6 corresponds to, but we'll pretend that it's that. We'll pretend that it's that. Okay, so 9 root 6, which is a stand-in for root 3. We have to divide that by root 3 to get that. Then that's that length there. And then instead of being that's been multiplied by that. So that'll be 18 root 6 over 3, which is 6 root 6, I believe. Here, okay, so all scaled up by 5, so that there is going to be 5 root 3. And then you have to divide that by 2 and multiply by root 3. Pretty sure, yes. All right, so 5 times 3, so 15 over 2. Now, that's the stand-in for root 3. So divide it by root 3 and then times it by 2. So like that. And then times all of that by root 2. So you get 12 root 3 over 3, which is 4 root 3, and then 4 root 6 should be that x. Okay, so here, right, so everything's multiplied by 10, so 10 there, down there. And instead of being root 3, it's 10, so you have to divided by root 3. It says 10 over root 3. which is 10 root 3 over 3. And here, instead of being root 3, it's 6. So you have to divide that by root 3 and times it by 2. And then that's 1, and that's root 3. So now I have to times that by root 3. So x should be 12. Now to check everything. I don't doubt there are some mistakes, but we must press forward and hydrate oneself. Okay. 5:14. Right, okay. That one needs looking at. Okay. Overall, pretty good, but okay. So redo. Okay, so so 9 has to be first divided by 2 and then multiplied by root 3 to get that side. And then, now that we have that hypotenuse right there, which should be 2, we want the shorter side. So divided by 2 yet again. So times it by a half. So 9 root 3 over 4, that appears to be. And confirm. And that's now corrected. Excellent. All right. That ends that session. Okay, be well, be well.